assume I've introed this already, so I'm just gonna go with it. You know what they say about assumptions, Cassie? It makes an ass out of you and me because we're the same person, and that's getting kind of weird. Anyway, hi crafters. I'm doing the Stripey challenge. And if you don't know, the Stripey challenge was started by Carolina me mum. I'm not even gonna try and say her last name, it's Polish, it's fun. So the idea of the Stripey challenge is to make a historic garment that is before the 1970s, and it can't be like theatre costume or anything, like something from pictures or accident garments or stuff like that, to recreate. You can use paintings, I guess, to recreate that in modern times. Now technically we've had since like August or end of July till the 1st of October. I decided that I needed to like practice planning for 3 weeks and then not start anything till August, and then I still haven't finished my drawers and it's the middle of September. But I'm getting there, and like you can't judge me because I have everything. I need. Yeah, I wasn't sure how I was going to make these videos, just that I wanted to make videos on the process. So I've pretty much up till this point just been recording everything, and now I have to go through and edit everything. Also, I was using a different camera body, so some of it isn't in focus, and I'm really happy about that. And there's a lot of clips that are like a maximum of 10 minutes. I'm also happy about that, but I have my current camera back, so everything from here on is going to be fine, which will be the skirt onwards for you. But yeah, this first video is just going to be, I guess, planning the entire thing, and I'll show you the dress that I will be making shortly and why, maybe, or I'll just record more clips and come back in and you'll be seeing a lot of editing, Cassie. So much editing, Cassie. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my, I guess, foray, introduction, beginnings into historic garment reconstruction. And I was going to try and do this like all exact, but being me, I do take some liberties with things. But like, to be fair, I don't know everything about the garment. I have like 2 pictures and a short description about it that I'm going off. So, yay! Okay, I'll see you guys in a second. Boing. I'm doing the Stripey challenge, and this is the dress I plan to make. This is the sole picture of it on the internet, so I'm doing myself just all the favors. I have gone through and like on a black and white one marked out exactly what I think I can see on it, just to give myself an idea. And then I brought this book because online it says that it was in the Suiting for Everyone Democracy of Clothing in America, and it gave dates. I didn't realize that was the actual exhibition, not the book, but it was a $3 book, so I'm not angry, and it has many useful things and information. So I'll go through this another day and let you know what it's like. It turns out I don't need this, but I'm still gonna read it and go through it because it is about really what this dress was. A pre-made wash dress. I think it was also called a wrapper dress and possibly a tea gown or a tea dress, but I highly doubt it was a tea dress or a tea gown. I don't know why it was referred to that in something. So here's my plan. I'm going to try and recreate this. And I've been like trying to find information on the back, about the back of it, and any pictures, and I just can't until it was on the website the entire time. Like, this portion is exactly what I needed, and for some reason I just blasé didn't look at it properly. It also has the background of the dress on the website because it's in the Smithsonian. I think it says here it was exhibited in Suiting America, the democratization of clothing in America from 1974 to 1979. I'm so smart. But yes, so I'm going to, what I've now discovered that I didn't know at this point was that you could also search Google with Etsy in the actual search, a short description or something about the dress for accident garments, especially if it's like late 1800s, early 1900s. Because Etsy has a vast wealth of vintage clothing and is probably like one of the highest things that a lot of people buy vintage clothes from now, as far as I understand. There could be other sites. If you know other sites, search for them as well. But searching via Google not just shows you what's currently for sale, but what has been sold as well. So I just like searched something similar, went into images, and I managed to find this beautiful gown. I'm pretty sure it's still for sale for like $600 or something ridiculous, but also not ridiculous because it's gorgeous. From what I can tell, it looks to be a version of the same dress. Now, the only real differences with this one is that I'm pretty sure the back is different because the back on mine is meant to have like a triangle thing going on, but it's got the pleating in the back, it's got the pleating on the actual skirt, and the front closure of this dress is done by hooks, whereas mine's done by buttons. And it's the one that I'm doing has different detailings and a belt, whereas this one doesn't. But I'm so excited to have more high resolution pictures of something very similar to what I've been looking into. And it just has stopped some of those little nagging thoughts that I've been like really questioning everything on. It's like answered most of my questions. The only thing it hasn't answered is the interior of the bodice, but I've got Jenna Arnold for that. I don't have the exact gowns, but also via Google, I found that it looks like the type of shirt waist that goes in this dress is very similar to all of other ones. The only thing that's different to a lot of the ones that I'm seeing is that the one that I'm making has separate front lining, but we'll get to that. Anyway, that was an update about this and I'm very excited about it. Go through, write down what I can about it in this book, because I've decided this is the book, and draw out plans. I've already kind of made rough plans on like what I need for under things possibly. I'm not sure about the petticoats or the bum pads, but I am making combinations and a corset. I canned the corset idea because combinations were taking too long. Also, on Raven, you can see the back of a corset that I already own that is like a teensy bit small, but it still fits and it's a similar silhouette. So I'm getting away with it. Also, it's stripy. That's all we need. But I will make a corset after this eventually. I just want to take my time with a corset more than what I can when I'm trying to make combinations and a dress. And maybe petticoats, definitely petticoats, only petticoats. Okay, bye. So let's get this going. It works better in my mind when I write things down rather than just reading it or looking at stuff. So that's why I'm using the book, and then I can draw in the book and it will be a magical book. Okay, here's the plan. I have a rough free internet pattern for a skirt, a pattern for a corset, and I'm going to make up a pattern for the shirt. It's a gored skirt, so I'm just going to see how this works. Otherwise, I think there's another pattern that I might have to use because I'm not sure if this is one whole part or two parts. And it's pleated here, so many things. I wouldn't mind making a little one out of fabric first, but we'll see how this goes first. Can you see it's like, it would be flatter. So that makes sense. Okay, so I've made my little, the other thing I did was I cut out just a generic pattern that I found online for a skirt with gauze and made that too. I haven't done up the back yet because I didn't want to, but it's given me an idea. I think, because I'm going to need pleats up here, I'm just trying to visually see and work out. It looks like it is all one piece of fabric, but I at least have the option there that if my fabric isn't long enough or wide enough or whatever for it, I can hide it in with those pleats and the white braid. I know the belt's made, so I'm pretty sure like the shirt I'm gonna work out with paper, not tonight because I have to draft that if I can't find a pattern for it, and that I might wait till I have Jenna Arnold to work out. But I have now like an idea of how the dress goes together, which is more than I had earlier, so that's great. Really it's 3 pieces. You have the top bodice, which appears to have, it has a V-shaped yoke in the back with white braid over it. It's got pleats down center back that are stitched down at the waist. It looks like there's a little bit of extra fabric at the waist at the back, but not too much. Then you have the front where the front and the back connect here where there is more white braiding. You have white braiding across the chest, which forms a yoke, but it's not really a yoke. And it all gathers down at the waist where it's stitched down. So in my mind, I'm picturing that there's like probably an inch that I can't see that's like all stitched. The other thing is it closes down front, center front, but it also says it has a lining that's separate from the bodice. It connects at the side seams. And that meets its center. Hi internet, so I've started my board and you can see on the board that I have been doing outlines of the dress and making notes on it and what I think the back of the blouse will look like. Okay, my hair's a mess, but I have a plan. So I have been prepping everything for the Stripey challenge. I've just been like printing stuff out and reading stuff and doing lots of work, okay? I went through the other day. I have this book that I've never really used. It is now containing my notes for the Stripey challenge. I have everything but the skirt. I haven't done the skirt yet, or a lot of things, but like when I want to write, I'll write it down, okay? So far I've got this corset ready to go. Well, that's the pattern for it. I've cut it out and I've made a paper mock-up, which I put somewhere that I do not know. And then I made a physical mock-up, which doesn't sit great, but I feel like that might be because I need to change the material I did it in. I don't know, but it's cute. It's so cute. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be one that I'll just get to when I decide to size up the pattern. The other thing is I've been planning how to hit this dress. I think I've worked out everything. So it looks like the blouse is very standard blouse with pleating in the back and a V-shaped yoke at the back. The yoke attaches to the front at the collarbones. It's all gathered up at the collarbones and down at the waistline as well. You can't see where I'm pointing to, so there's no point. Buttons down the front. The thing that has me confused is that it says the buttons are on the lining. Like the lining on the front is attached at the sides and that's it. And then the buttons are on the lining and there's buttonholes. But then the buttonholes on the outside attached through the lining. So I'm going to have to play with that. I'm going to do a mock-up of everything anyway. So I guess I'll work that out once I have the corset and the combinations worked out. Printed out parts of like dressmaking course of domestic arts. Print out other pieces of other paper everywhere. Because it's a gauze skirt, so I needed to know how to like draft up a gauze skirt as well. I've got like this, kind of gives you like a decent view of what a gauze skirt looks like. And the main issue I was trying to work out is if it separated at the knees and had fabric that went out fuller at the bottom or something, or if it was just a natural gauze skirt. I don't think it is. I think that it's pleated around the knees horizontally and that there's 3 things of braided ribbon going around it. This was just math of me working out the corset from the size that I printed it. I need to size it up, then I'll make a pattern, but I also know how to increase from that size. I think you can kind of see here I've made all the notes on how I think it's all put together and the important parts. And the one that I want to get started on is the combinations. So I could go off a pattern for the combinations, and I'll refer to patterns, but I kind of want to do a mock-up on what the combinations would look like. At least the top, I kind of want to get my head around how that will sit, because I've got a polycotton or poplin that I'm going to use for all my mock-ups because it's real cheap in Australia. It's like $2 a meter. It's great. But if I get that right, I will cut into the linen before I get the lace. I haven't gotten any of the lace yet. I need to see 2 more fabric shops to see if they have the lace that I want. Otherwise, if they don't, I will settle. And that is fine. Or I might just make it all out of linen. I haven't decided. But I've done out like the key features, and in my mind I've seen how like Bernadette and all that cut their combinations, but my theory is, okay, so if I measure my width across here, my width across my bust, and my width around my waist, and how far the distance needs to be on the back and on the front, then I can draft up like a square that I can shape from there and kind of shape. I would normally use my dress dummy thingy, but she's not stuffed correctly at the moment. I think it's just going to be easier to use myself. So let's get this started. Where are my 15,000 measuring tapes? Okay, so I'm just wearing a sports bra that helps a little bit, but not too much, because obviously I won't be wearing anything underneath the combinations generally. Sometimes I start talking to the camera and then I just stop and it fades into nothing, and it's really frustrating for editing, Cassie. Yay, this is gonna be fun editing. So pretty much that was all the planning before I started making the combinations. I'm gonna do like the mock-up for the combinations and the combinations themselves as their own videos, because I did a fair few mock-ups of the combinations and like they're my favorite part, but I still have to finish them because one of the laces is a pain in my butt and keeps giving me headaches because I have to focus so intensely on it. Really that's it for now. That's all the planning that went into it. The one thing that I have found while doing this is that someone else just recently completed their version of the dress for the Stripey challenge, and it infuriated me so much because they had their own interpretation of it, and their interpretation is different to mine, and I don't know if they had access to the actual breakdown or summary of what the pieces were, because they made it all as one piece with a dress that like is cinched in by a belt in the middle, and I raged a little, but I still like the dress. It's just because like I've stared at this and studied it so much that like my brain's like, but that's not how it's made. But also I like that dress. Can I wear that dress? That's great. So yeah, it's just turned me like a little crazy and a little mean, but I'm trying not to be crazy and mean. I don't know. It's like, there's just that part of me that's like, it's inaccurate. And then the rest of me is like, but it's really pretty and I like it. And where did you get that cotton from? That's like the perfect cotton. I don't know. But I'm gonna go and continue working on these videos and the outfit. As always, the links to like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter are all below. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, or if you want to yell anything at me, just do that, that's fine too. Yeah, subscribe if you liked it, like it if you like it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!